Hi, I'm Guy Pratt. You're watching for BassPlayersOnly.com.
Hi everyone, Jon Liebman here. You're watching for BassPlayersOnly.com. Today we are on location in Clinton Township, Michigan at the fabulous recording studio with, look who I ran into, Guy Pratt. How you doing, Guy?
I'm very good, thank you, John. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Is this your first time over here in Clinton Township, Michigan?
It's my first time in Clinton Township, yeah. It's also my first time in Detroit proper. So I've played in Detroit before, but you never actually come into town. You're always out in the suburbs, whatever. So, and I've been here, and Ralph Armstrong's been showing me around, showing me the sights, and I love it. I must say, I love it here.
Well, good. On behalf of Detroiters everywhere, welcome. Glad to have you here.
Well, it's good to be here. I've been trying to tell everyone that because Detroit's so important to all English people. All English kids grow up on Motown. You know, it was like the biggest pop music we had. So it is a thrill to be here.
Well, welcome. You have done so much stuff over in your native England, and your resume reads like a mile long. Everybody from Pink Floyd to Madonna to Michael Jackson to Roxy Music to Brian Ferry. You do stand-up. You've written songs. You've written a book. The title of your book is My Bass and Other Animals.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, what does bring you to Detroit right now?
It's an odd one. It's Ralph Armstrong, who's become a really dear friend which basically all came through Hans-Peter Wilfer, through Warwick basses from when Hans did these bass camps, and he just got a load of bass players together, which I've got to say has been the most amazing thing. There's all these incredible musicians who I've become friends with, who you would never really get to know otherwise, because it's, you know, with bass players, you get 5 minutes backstage in a dressing room after a show or something. So it's been, you know, fantastic for that. And so Ralph asked me to come over here and play on this project of his, and I have no idea what I'm going to do. But I've come all this way, and hopefully something will happen.
Well, it'll be spontaneous, that's for sure.
It'll certainly be that.
Well, Ralph obviously has a lot of confidence in you to bring you all the way over here, not telling you what's in store for you, but I'm sure it'll be great. We will look forward to it. And I've been to the Warwick Bass Camp, and it is a fabulous bass hang, and I look forward to going back again. Hans Peter is a great guy, Ove Bosch, the whole gang over there.
Yeah, in fact, I'm using for the first time, I've designed a bass for them, which is, I think, the first ever bass to have 2 sliding pickups. There's been sliding pickups before, but never 2. And they've kind of, you know, being German, they've somewhat over-engineered it so that it's also the pickups are single coil or series or humbuckers. So there's basically nothing it can't do. So it's you know, fantastic. So I'm looking forward to playing with that.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit more. This is a brand new. Is this going to be a signature bass, or is this?
Well, apparently not, because I think it's too expensive. But they've said that I think that that for custom models they will put that mechanism in, the sliding pickup mechanism in. But obviously we have to thrash out my percentage of that, since it was my idea. So yeah, I thought maybe it was going to be a production thing, but I don't think it is. But it's a beautiful thing, and I love it.
And when is that expected to hit the streets?
Well, it's not going to hit the streets. It's just mine.
Okay. Well, Warwick is a great product, and this is yet another great product, another great bass that Warwick has in the works right now.
Exactly.
What else is keeping you busy right now?
It's hard. What is? I mean, I do all sorts of things between playing, and I still do my stand-up show quite a lot. I was at an art rock festival in Portugal last weekend, and then, you know, now it's Detroit. Then I've got some touring coming up, and some writing projects, not music writing projects, just writing projects. And I'm trying to tick as many boxes as I can before the game's up. Really.
Tell me about your stand-up show.
Well, it's basically you know, all musicians are funny. Right, except for singers, obviously. Which is why the musicians have to be funny to deal with the singers. And it's basically what I do is I just tell stories. It's what any musician does down the pub, really. And because because I've worked with such a wide range of people. I'm probably the only person to have played for the Smiths and Whitesnake. So and I've got stories about all of them, and everyone loves to hear tall stories.
Well, give us 1 or 2 short stories.
No. When I'm put on the spot like that, it doesn't work. Also, because I need an audience.
Well, we'll put it in. Well, you don't think this is an audience worthy of? I'll tell you what. Let's put it in the context of.
There's stuff on YouTube.
How about if we say, give me some of your career highlights? I mentioned all the people you've played. Not all the people, but among the many people that you've played with, what are one or two things that stand out that would be appropriate to share with these folks today?
Okay, well they tend to. I mean, obviously they tend to be Pink Floyd things because they're just so huge. I mean, things like, which unfortunately means they're a long time ago now, but probably like sort of playing in Venice when we actually played on an oil rig that had been sunk down to sea level and sailed into the lagoon, and we set up a stadium stage on it, and then we had every gondola in Venice was hired out by people sat in front of the stage, and then there were 200,000 people standing in San Marco Square, and then it went out live to every country in Europe on TV. So that was pretty good.
That's cool.
And the other one was probably the Palace of Versailles. We were the first people ever to be allowed to play the Palace of Versailles, and we had the biggest laser display in the world, with something like 12 lasers. Stuff like that was pretty good. And then actually, no, the last show that Rick Wright ever did, which was when we played at Gdansk shipyard in Poland with an orchestra, and that was also great because it was the sort of 26th anniversary of Solidarity overthrowing the government, whatever. So that was all really nice and loaded. So there's stuff like that. But there's always boxes to tick.
Yes. Well, what about, I mean, you've obviously ticked a lot of boxes, but I could still see that you've got a lot of notes left in you. You've got a lot of energy. What else would you like to do? What else is on that list of someday what else would you like to do?
There's the two Petes, Townsend and Gabriel. I've never played with either of those.
You can call it Pete and repeat.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
You can have that.
Thank you. I will.
If you want it.
Yeah, that's about it, really. I'd love to play with either or both of those two, and other than that, I can't. I mean, like I said, there are always surprising things that turn up, like this, for instance. This is the sort of thing I never thought. It's working with musicians like Ralph is amazing, and so now it's more. I'm hopefully interesting things come to me rather than me kind of thinking, oh, I really want to do that. So because there's not really, you can't really. I mean, there's so little money to be made as a musician now, so which is kind of why I have to do other things. I mean, the comedy thing, and like I said, I do bits of TV writing and stuff, and it's you can't really, for someone like me, I can't really think about making money. I just have to try. The only way I can make money is by finding nice things to do. So,
well, I hope you find lots more nice things to do, and I hope you make lots of money.
Oh, thank you very much indeed, Joe.
Yes. Last question, Guy. I know you're so much more than a bass player, but I want to ask you, what would you be if you were not a bass player and something outside of music, something outside of show business and all that realm?
Outside of show business, I don't know. I find myself very interested in anthropology of late. So something like that. I'd like to, I don't know if this is a common thing. A lot of people get to sort of middle-aged and you could, the appeal of doing something academic, I find quite alluring, but I don't know if I'm necessarily bright enough. But I do like the idea of just a tweed jacket with leather elbow patches and some musty old study somewhere.
Okay, we will leave with that image in everybody's mind. Guy Pratt, great catching up with you.
John.
Much luck, continued success to you always. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm Jon Liebman. You're watching for BassPlayersOnly.com.